Hey guys, welcome again to Bible 101. My name is Josh Adrianson, for those that don't know, and for those who do know me, Tito. Thanks for joining me again. Another thing that I would like to talk about the trustworthiness of the Bible today is the fact that there is a myth that skeptics make, which is that the Bible is not reliable because if there are so many manuscripts, then there are about to be mistakes. That I agree with. I agree with them. That is very correct. With so many manuscripts that are available of the ancient writings of the New Testament, there are bound to be mistakes of some sort, one way or another, especially since they were copied by hand by many people. Now, the one problem about this is that scholars have refuted these claims many years ago because of evidence that they have provided. Now, the original writings of the New Testament were written in Greek and were also written in Arabic. Now, the translations of Greek and Arabic in different languages are about to change. Are bound to change because sometimes I'm a bilingual. I speak Spanish and English, and there are some English words that just simply do not exist in Spanish, just like how there are some Spanish words that just simply do not exist in English. So we have to make an exception and use 3 or 4 words to describe one. That is the same routine with the translation of the New Testament into English from all of these other languages. Now, the reason why it is very important, like I mentioned in my previous video, there are so many manuscripts about the New Testament writings of the life of Jesus and also of the writings of the epistles and the Apostle Paul and all that. The reason why it's so important that there are so many manuscripts is because they can be compared very accurately. Another thing that scholars have done research on about mistakes and things is that there are some textual variants. By that I mean there are some words that are different in one translation as compared to another. But the reason why that is because the Greek and the Aramaic are very difficult languages to translate to English. Now, the one thing though about these variants and these mistakes that they call that they want to use as to refute the Bible's trustworthiness is the fact that all of those variants do not, I repeat, they do not affect any doctrines of Christianity whatsoever. The only mistakes that there is for example, I'll use one example. There are a couple of places in the Bible where it says he or they. Well, there are some versions of the Bible that will, instead of saying he or they, there are some manuscripts that actually have a name on there. For example, they will say Jesus or the disciples. The reason why that's there is because they're trying to clarify, make sure that you understand who this person is and who it is that they are talking about. Another thing that could be, for example, is that in Greek, whenever they mention a name, they will actually say the Jesus or the Paul or the Peter, unlike we do in English, which we just say Paul or Jesus or Peter. We take that the out of it. Things like that. Now, when it comes to the most major mistakes of the Bible, which aren't very many, it only comes about 1% of the entire Bible, which really is nothing. And also, they do not change the doctrines of Christianity whatsoever. They do not change the fact of Jesus actually living, or the fact of Jesus actually dying on a cross, or the fact of him being resurrected to offer us eternal life. It doesn't change any of that. The only things that changes is just a little bit of understanding, which most of the time, if you actually look into the historical context by researching the type of life that people had in those times and customs and etc., all of the historical things besides what the Bible mentions, you will come to the understanding of why Paul or why the disciples wrote certain verse in that certain way. And so when it comes to the mistakes of the Bible, the one thing the skeptics forget to mention is the fact that the mistakes aren't really anything that will make the Bible on trustworthiness. It won't take the trustworthiness away from it. It's just little tiny mistakes that are made because they were written, they were copied by hand. They didn't have copy machines the way we do today. And some people made mistakes just because they were tired or just because they changed a word, etc. But the one thing is that it does not affect any doctrines whatsoever. And the one thing that scholars can actually stand on and proclaim about the writings of the Bible is that they are 99% accurate. There is no ancient document so accurate with such a high percentage of the closeness of the time of the original documents. If you would like to read more on this, here is a book. It's called Reinventing Jesus by J. Ed Komoselski. Yeah, it's a pretty difficult name. And James Sawyer, Daniel B. Wallace. This is a book written by scholars. It talks about the mistakes in the Bible, etc., things that I'm mentioning, and it also talks about other skeptical claims. God bless you guys. I hope you look into this. If you would like to get this book, you can find it anywhere, Amazon, Best Buy, etc., and it's very, very cheap. I recommend you to get it and read it on your time off. Y'all take care. God bless you.